What's up, wrestling fans? My name is Joe Cronin. I am joined by Jake DeMarco. Countdown ended. And we are getting ready for Monday Night Raw tonight. You might not be. You might be getting ready for what you would call suicide. But we're getting ready for Monday Night Raw tonight. And Jake is fresh off his ability to make Justin Bayley quit his show on YouTube. So how about that?
No more JB show.
You killed him.
I'm surprised.
You killed him. You're being blamed for this. I'm just telling you right now.
Should I be playing We Are the Champions, or
I don't know. I just feel like
pour one out for the homies?
I feel like this is a ploy by JB, and in 2 weeks he'll be back. He'll just be like, "I'm back," but like it was just to see how long he could make you curdle. But no, that's very sad news. I heard it earlier. I sent him a dick pic. But no, more on that later. We'll talk about that on Corrupted channel on the YouTube channel over there. But today, as far as wrestling goes, Ivory to the Hall of Fame. She's someone I always wanted to be just annihilated by in a bedroom.
Absolutely. I actually saw Diva Bible post how she came into the WWE today, and I had forgotten about that, where she came in to be like Mark Henry's gift from D'Lo Brown. And I was like, oh, yeah, I remember. It's funny how you've seen so much wrestling over the years and all the little storylines that you forget. But as soon as you get just a second of it, you're like, oh, and you remember the entire, all the events that transpired. It's great.
She was a weird character because, no one ever really, cared that much about her. And she always had this, sort of, angry teacher sort of vibe about her.
Yes. I don't want to say MILF outright, but that kind of feel to it. She was a little bit older than some of the other girls, but
yeah.
She was always a class act, but she constantly delivered, and I feel like she was kind of undersold in the women's division for quite a while.
See, I don't want to, because I'd put her in. I don't know. For women, I guess there's not a whole lot of women, so I guess I'd put her in the Hall of Fame. It's just Beth Phoenix last year, and now Ivory, and it's just I just can't get around the fact that Chyna isn't in the Hall of Fame. I just can't.
When you have certain names
it.
looming, that's a huge discrepancy.
I'm sorry to them because it ruins it for these other women, sort of. And this is why WWE should have just shut the fuck up and put Chyna in there years ago so we wouldn't have to listen to this shit. Every year a woman is inducted, you have to look at 30% of the comments referencing Chyna. So at some point, dude, it's just so stupid. They should have done it when she was alive, but we have to have this discussion every time. When you say Hall of Fame, Beth Phoenix over Chyna? No.
Yeah, it doesn't really come to light in that sense.
When you say Hall of Fame, Ivory over Chyna? No. So, it's fucking ridiculous. But anyway, I like Ivory, and I think she should go there, and so I'm happy that she's there. So I also... I mean,
she's certainly deserving in her own right.
By the way, Terry Runnels? Terry Runnels isn't in the Hall of Fame, is she?
No.
Right. Why isn't Terry Runnels in the Hall of Fame? See, to me, Terry Runnels would be a better choice than Ivory after Chyna not having, because Terry Runnels came in and was Goldust's Marlena, and she did that crazy stuff. She got Chyna over, but before that, she did all the stuff that she did with Goldust that was amazing. And then later on in life, went on to be sort of like a diva, but she also did the wrestling stuff. Why wouldn't Terry Runnels go in the Hall of Fame? Because
Absolutely.
She was there. I think 4 or 5 years longer than Ivory. So
yeah, at least that.
Why in the world? Maybe she'll still be. Maybe she will be inducted this year. But yeah,
I mean, we'll see who else is going to be announced. I've heard a few meddling things here and there, but
I just think that
until it's concrete,
I would just put Terry in there with I'd put Terry and then Ivory, or Terry and then somebody. I mean, if it was me picking the Hall of Fame, I'd put Chyna, and I only had choice this year, so I can't go back in time, but I have a choice this year. I'm putting Chyna in there, and then maybe Marlena in there too, and then I don't know, and then or Terry Runnels in, and then maybe next year would be Ivory, But that's just me. Whatever, we can move on. I think it's bullshit. What do you think?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, I'm with you there. Sadly, not to just outright agree, but you've nailed it right in the head. I mean, Chyna should have been put in years ago. Joni definitely deserved that.
I can remember when she was still on YouTube, and I was talking to her on YouTube, and all I said to her a bunch of times was you should be in the Hall of Fame, and this shouldn't be a problem. and she was really sad about it. And then I kind of didn't talk to her again. But then she went on to make her videos about it and start that documentary thing that I don't even know if that's ever getting released. Whatever happened to that?
Yeah, that's a great point. I had actually thought about that about 2 weeks ago. I said, I wonder if anything is ever coming of that, because, you know, you start hearing rumblings about Hall of Fame this year, and now, you know, Bam Bam Bigelow and Kid Rock are possibly going to be going in as well, and you're like, why not Chyna? You're going to put Kid Rock in over Chyna? You know, I know they need a celebrity, but just in general, you know, anybody over Chyna at this point just feels wrong.
And also Stephanie with her little mention of Chyna on the show the other day. That was weird.
Yeah.
So
she did bring her up, and I really liked what you said on Twitter before. I retweeted it in an instant, you know, because it sat with me. You said, pretty sad we didn't get the Macho Man returning on Raw for one last promo. We almost missed the Warrior by, what, 2 days?
Right.
Absolutely missed Chyna. You said it's never too late to bury the hatchet with someone until it's too late. And you're exactly right. I mean, look at everything that's going on with Vader. You know, no one knows exactly how his health is, how much time he has left.
Yeah, if you're asking me,
give him a chance.
He's got to be in there. I mean, I don't know if that was a weird plea for sympathy with him. Sympathy. I mean, I think a lot of the wrestlers and some of the people see Vader. Vader's like their Tommy NC 2010. Like, I'm not kidding. They a lot of those guys see him as, oh, that Leon always, you know. But you know what? Put him. He should be in the Hall of Fame, and Vader should be in the Hall of Fame. Bam Bam Bigelow should be in the Hall of Fame. Put them both in this year. Bam Bam, Vader. Put Bam Bam in. Put Vader in. Put Jim Cornette in. If you want, put him in next year, even though I hate Jim Cornette's fucking lying ass, two-faced, fucking four-eyed, fucking suck bag of a goddamn piece of shit human. But, you know, whatever. Put him all in. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, he certainly deserves to be in there, like him or not, you know, and that's the thing. A lot of these people, like him or not, they earn their right. And Ivory definitely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, but I don't think she deserves to be in there more than Chyna.
Right, and I don't think it's her fault, so I'll celebrate her when she gets in there. But as a discussion right now, it's fucking hilarious, kind of, in a way. But
so I have a you know, next topic question for you. I don't know if you've heard of this yet. I'm sure you have. Actually, I guarantee you have. But everybody's talking about the possibility that Goldberg's coming to win the Andre the Giant Battle Memorial. Did you hear about this?
I heard about it, and I
said, I knew you had to have heard about it. I didn't know if you talked about it yet. But.
My reaction was this. And then I moved on because I just thought
that's
that
exactly
was
what I said. Like, but you know, I read some reactions. People were like, "Oh, that's supposed to be for a new star to have them be built up."
I don't believe
And originally we had said, we talked about it Out of Nowhere. I told you I heard that it was going to be showcased on the main show this year because they wanted it to coincide with the Andre the Giant DVD that's coming out, or documentary. Excuse me.
Oh God, maybe he will win.
So they want to make it. You know, HBO is going to release this sports documentary. I don't have exactly the date when. I know it's coming up right after WrestleMania. I think it's like 2 weeks after. So they're thinking that, you know, Goldberg winning it would be gigantic. He's going into the Hall of Fame. You know, he's gotten all these things. So it would you know, really.
And it could be a surprise.
Nicely.
It could be a surprise thing, like the last two, like they bring out everyone individually, or whatever, or like they bring out like 25 people, like they do, and then they bring out the last guy, and it's him, and then he wins it. That'd be lame, kind of, but. I mean, because the surprise guy wins the, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, and if you really think about the Memorial Battle Royal, it has not done a single thing for anyone's career that's won it.
No, I mean, it made for that. Again, I said this the other day. It made for that really cool Cesaro moment, but that was it.
Yeah, it was a cool moment to harken back to Andre and Hogan.
Didn't build anybody.
That's what he did there, but it has not. It didn't elevate Baron Corbin. Didn't help Cesaro, you know. It's just
no. Baron Corbin was
the match of matches.
Dude, it has been pretty much a waste. It's been used exactly what it was pretty much made for, which was to get everybody on the card or get everybody the paycheck so they don't bitch, and get everybody on the card in a way. So that's pretty much what it's been used for. Although the people on the pre-show didn't get paid, did they? Because they didn't get the DVD deal, right? Because it was on the pre-show.
Yeah, it was on the pre-show. So.
No,
I mean, it's unfortunate, but now this year they're supposed to bring it back to the forefront. Yeah, regardless, I mean, either way, but you know, WWE is still trying to bring back The Rock. I guess they're still talking to, you know, the People's Champ to go ahead and have that mixed tag match for WrestleMania with Ronda Rousey.
I feel like they're worried that if they don't get The Rock, that's why part of me thinks that Roman Reigns is still available for we don't know why, you know, whatever. I feel like if they don't get The Rock, they're going to give it to Reigns.
I feel like if they don't get The Rock, they would go to Angle because I feel like they started to build that story between Angle and Triple H already.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
But I could see why you would think they would give it to Reigns because it's such a high-profile match and have him take on Triple H again. And, they've been there already, so...
They say all these news coming out about, like, oh, Rousey's there to kind of showcase Stephanie or something. But, yeah, if Ron is there, everyone involved gets a big sort of spotlight. So I can see Reigns
everybody
being
gets
there.
a moment in the sun.
But because it just feels to me locked in that Braun Strowman is going to face Brock Lesnar. I don't know why. I just feel...
I absolutely feel that way, too. I mean, I don't... we'll see who the sixth man added tonight on Raw will be for the Elimination Chamber. But I guess WWE.com posted Finn Balor on the Elimination Chamber,
yes.
part of their website, being in the sixth man for the Chamber match.
It seems like they gave it away.
They already spoiled it themselves.
It really feels like they spoiled it. I know, like, some people are going to say, oh, they could still do something else, and they could, but it just feels like they spoiled it, and that's all there is to it. Why?
Yeah, it certainly seems like they gave that away. But
by the way, I want to make a bold prediction right here on this show. I think that Carmella cashes in her Money in the Bank at WrestleMania.
At WrestleMania. Ooh.
At WrestleMania. I don't know. I mean, it's probably a bad idea because I bet you the belts won't even be on the line or something. Because if they do I don't know what they're going to do with Charlotte. But.
Well, right now the rumors seem to be like the preliminary card that's out there. Matt the Misfit and I were just talking about actually, is that all signs seem to point to Charlotte going to be facing Asuka. And then Nia Jax will be taking on Alexa Bliss.
So that leads me to think that...
if Asuka beats Charlotte, that would mean that, Carmella then cashes in against Asuka.
That would be really weird, man. But I swear to God, I got a weird feeling. And you're coming up on the point where she needs to cash that thing in.
She's running out of time.
However,
rapidly.
Here's the other thing. You just made me think about this a little more. I could also see a failed cash-in from Carmella on Asuka.
Really? The first women's Money in the Bank is a failure for cash-ins.
Yes. Like, imagine, like, she cashes in, right? And then fucking Asuka just knocks her out and then fucking beats her. Like, and
Did they say which belt she had to cash in for, though?
You're right.
Because my thought would be
that you're not right.
Since
it has to be SmackDown.
It has to be SmackDown?
Pretty sure, yeah.
See... Yeah, if that's the case, then they kind of cornered themselves there. Because if it didn't have to be, you're sending Asuka to SmackDown to face Charlotte, essentially, because she got to choose who she would face for winning the Rumble.
Yeah.
Now you have Nia and Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss beats Nia, or Nia even finally wins, and then Carmella comes to Raw to replace the spot that Asuka left on SmackDown,
I just find it like, how are they going to...
It would be like a 1-for-1.
How are they going to beat Asuka? You know what I mean? They're going to have to beat Asuka, somehow. The only other thing I could think is, like, it's a DQ at WrestleMania with Asuka and Charlotte because Carmella knocks out Charlotte and then tries to turn it into a triple threat or something. I mean...
Oh, that would leave a bad taste in everybody's mouth.
Yeah, it could be bad no matter what. So maybe it won't happen until after Mania because you really want Asuka and Charlotte to go. Like, you want that match to happen as a wrestling fan and happen clean. So I'm not saying
you want that to really showcase what the women can do.
Yeah, I don't want this to happen. I'm just fucking around with what I think they might do.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a bold prediction. But maybe they'll write themselves out of the corner that they're in. I mean, they've changed their mind how many times now? Dozens. This year already, as short as it's been. They find a way to unbook themselves, so they could easily say that, oh, she can go for either belt. Because I could absolutely see her cashing in on Nia or Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, that would have been
this
way
way. She
easier.
Still cashes in. She replaces Asuka on Raw because now Asuka will be on SmackDown. So it's a 1-for-1 transfer.
It would have been awesome if they set that up that way, but she's already tried to cash in like 3 times, I think, on SmackDown. So that leads me to think it's clear-cut just the SmackDown deal.
I'm pretty sure. I think that's why I said I'm pretty sure you're right, but I don't remember any like concrete like you have to. But
yeah, I don't remember it either. But I'm assuming that way. But yeah, I'm not sure either. But I don't know what they do. Because if Charlotte loses at WrestleMania, which you would think Asuka would win the title at WrestleMania, that's just it. So if that happens, then is Carmella's going to cash in on Asuka? I mean, that would be weird, but it would get a lot of heat on Carmella, and then it would have Asuka chasing her for it.
Yeah,
beating her probably, and that would
and they can say, well, Asuka lost, but again, they have that asterisk, oh, well, she already won her match, and this was after the fact.
Well, then
and,
Carmella too could run around like saying that a lot too, like, oh, Asuka, 65 or whatever her record is, 95-1, and that one is Carmella, like blah blah blah, and that would get a lot of heat on Carmella. That would also kind of get rid of the whole Asuka can beat everyone and never ever loses ever, and so that kind of goes away because eventually you can't just win everything, even though it's fun.
It's already boring. I mean, we knew walking into the Rumble, unless Rousey was in the Rumble, Asuka won. And we knew that, every time, she's on Team Raw. Well, Team Raw won. She's facing so-and-so. Well, that person lost because Asuka's involved. It's really... And I was in agreement. I mean, it's paramount that she wins up until a certain point.
Right.
But they're going to have to execute that, streak soon enough. They're going to have to end it.
And I think that maybe at WrestleMania, I mean, that might work. I mean, the only thing is kind of like after all this perfection, the audience hasn't seen her win. They saw NXT audience saw Asuka win, but you kind of want the audience to see Asuka win at this point. And so maybe she will. But yeah, then if Carmella came in and hit her in the back of the head with the briefcase, or something, or Charlotte attacked her after from behind and then exited the ring, then Carmella came out and then, cashed in or something like that. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it yet. I mean,
yeah, there's a lot to consider. I mean, it's a great idea in theory. I mean, you have to sit with it a little bit more and play with it, but I could certainly see Carmella getting a huge, huge boost by, taking down Asuka in that manner. Let's say she, go one step further. She runs out and blindsides Asuka, hits her with the briefcase, hits her with a chair, knocks her out completely, then cashes in. Then even more so does she look like, oh, Asuka really didn't, get defeated per se. She was already unconscious.
Yeah.
They can have like a speculation storyline with that. Should she get to keep the belt?
Carmella can be like, oh, you weren't ready for that, Asuka. Looks like somebody was. Looks like you weren't ready, and all these things.
Yeah.
Like she can get a lot of heat from doing that. And I know they wanted to give her heat with Ellsworth. They really wanted her to have a lot of heat. So if they want to have that again, she could do this. And I will say that even though there's part of me that would kind of roll my eyes a bit, there's another part of me that would say, you know what, they did that for the better of everybody. At some point that trigger had to be pulled.
Who beats Asuka and gains much from it right now? I don't see somebody like a really green or fresh like a Mandy Rose or Sonya Deville or anyone from the Riot Squad doing so and making it be believable. And Charlotte certainly doesn't need the win. Neither does Sasha or Bayley.
Only
or
Charlotte
Nia.
could do it. So. I wouldn't believe anybody beating Asuka but Charlotte.
Yeah, Charlotte is one that I could see getting the job done.
But that's it, and that's why if Carmella fucking if she beats Charlotte, but then Carmella's takes the belt from her. Like after that would be really pretty amazing.
Yeah, I mean, we could get to WrestleMania, and I mean, we kind of already wrote Charlotte off. Charlotte could win. She really could. I mean, she's got some good pull in the bag with her father being who he is, and never mind just who she's related to. She's worked hard and came up, up from the roster. She went to NXT, not being able to woo. She wasn't even able to woo in the beginning. She had to separate herself from her father as much as possible. And it wasn't until she earned her place that she was able to show that relationship with her dad. But I mean, she came up hard and she earned that place as champion. So she could win. She could beat Asuka, and then Carmella could do the same thing that she was going to do to Asuka to her instead, knock her out and take the belt.
See, Charlotte's part of the is different than Reigns because Charlotte I feel like had sort of the office push like Reigns did, obviously. But I like Charlotte. I just like her already, her wrestling ability, her matches. So, I didn't get angry like I did with Reigns. And I was disappointed with the way they did Sasha. It felt like sometimes they just pushed Sasha because, okay, well, let's give her the belt. She's cool, right? Everybody likes her. Throw her out there. But they never gave her the clear-cut push or sort of the build that Charlotte got. And that really hurt Sasha. They really should have flipped one of them major heel or one of them major face, and it didn't really work out for Sasha being face.
Yeah, no, they couldn't have left her in between as long as they did, and they're still hee-hawing back and forth with Sasha, and it ruined her. She was a perfect narcissistic, confident badass on NXT. She commanded your attention. She got up to the main roster, and it wasn't all eyes on Sasha.
What else? Anything else real quick? I want to get us out of here, I suppose. But
as far as Reigns, too, do you like Daniel Bryan? Yes. Then you don't like Reigns. And that's the sad truth. But Roman, I think, was always screwed. He was destined to be wrong place, wrong time. Had it have been a little bit like a year and a half later, or even a year earlier, it would have, behooved him greatly. But he was just in the middle of the yes movement, and no one wanted to see anybody succeed but Daniel. And unfortunately, with him getting that type of push that he got, he was always going to be, just refused by the fans.
And now with what happened, that doesn't help it at all. And it will never come back unless Daniel Bryan wins the Royal Rumble and then beats Reigns at WrestleMania or something.
Yeah, even Daniel winning the title after beating Triple H in the same night, he beat all of Evolution essentially, still couldn't, rectify the Rumble loss. So
right, which is hilariously weird, but that's funny.
Yeah. Quick few stories I know you want to get out of here. Dolph Ziggler signed a fantastic contract. He has got himself in quite well. He with this new contract basically gets to go ahead and have the ability to leave the arena as soon as his match is done. He doesn't have to stay and watch anything else. It's a 2-year contract. It's worth a crazy big amount of money. I'm seeing he's also allowed to take events outside of WWE so long as it doesn't conflict with his schedule.
Why?
Anything he wants to do, he's not limited to.
Why did they like him so much?
I don't know. That's what I don't understand. But they apparently he was out the door. It said the Locker Room podcast that Dolph from Bin Hammond, the hacker, said that he was pretty much 2 feet out the door before being offered a 2-year contract. It's worth crazy big money. Apparently, there wasn't much of a plan for him with the U.S. title, dropping it. That was him kind of being done with the company. He was on his way out the door, and then they offered him a ton of money, 2 years, full contract. He has a few other clauses in there, too. I don't have it in front of me right now, but, I mean, his financial future is set. Like I said, he doesn't have to stay after his matches happens. He can leave the arena. I believe his travel's covered as well. And any project he wants to take, so long as it doesn't conflict with his schedule, he can take. So now he can go back to doing stand-up, or if he wants to do other things, he's more than open to.
Jesus. I just what are they, what is he selling T-shirts? I'm not aware of. Is he drawing ratings? Everyone just groans when he's out there. I mean, I like Dolph. I think he's talented, and I just think he's ran his course. I don't see what else he can add right now. Even he's reinvented himself a few times. It feels like, and originally he was the Spirit Squad. Then you went ahead and you saw him, and he looked like an extra from a Rammstein video for a while with that silver jacket. And then I remember him feuding with MVP and Sherry from The View, and then he came back and had that title win for the world championship, and then his star kind of faded. So bizarre, man.
Yeah,
whatever. That's weird, but fine.
It is odd.
Save on the Pyro, but hire Dolph Ziggler for
for a crazy amount of money. That's what I've been hearing. Crazy amount. Yeah. I mean, paying him anything over than the norm. But I think he was already getting $1 million. I believe we said on Out of Nowhere. So.
Shit happens, I guess. Oh, what else we got? Anything else? Or are we getting?
Bayley apparently is going to be turning heel, not Sasha. We saw a little bit of this tease last week on Raw, and Dave Meltzer reported that Madison Square Garden on March 16th has a mixed tag match of John Cena and Nikki Bella versus Elias and Bayley, and obviously they're doing face versus heels. So this sounds like Bayley is going heel. So perhaps the Bayley versus Sasha thing will be Bayley turning and not Sasha. And it also noted that Elias and Bayley are teaming up for the Mixed Match Challenge, and some of the vignettes she did seemed to also show her leaning that way. Her attitude backstage with Sasha when they had that back and forth. Apparently they're going to try and make the hugger less of a caring-natured girl.
It's really weird because I don't see it happening still. I just can't believe they would do it. But if they do it, I can see her promo is going to be like, I tried to be nice. All I wanted to do was come out here and hug you guys. And I wanted to give hugs, and you gave me shrugs.
Oh God,
I can
so groan worthy, but I can picture them. Yeah, boo.
I swear to God, hugs.
Well, she
shrugs.
really did. She had. I was a huge Bayley fan, and she's had more of a lackluster run, I feel, than Sasha has, and that's saying a lot right now.
Yeah,
but
it really is. They booked her fucking atrociously. Like
a lot of people call her the female version of John Cena, and the ultimate babyface, and I could see that. But I think the worst thing they pegged her as is a super fan.
Yeah, they made her seem like a fan. They all seem like that, but she really seems like a fan.
They really made her fandom like above and beyond.
And then just like they've had no payoff with her, it's made no sense. It goes back to that Extreme Rules match where it's like, you can't do this. You're not going to be able to go extreme and do, whatever. And then guess what? She wasn't.
She wasn't able to. So what did you get from it?
Yeah, what was the point? You said that she sucks and that she's a wuss and she won't go extreme and she won't do what has to be done to win a match. And then she said she's going to, and then she doesn't. And then the story went nowhere after that. And what? Like that writing was some of the worst fucking shit I've ever seen in my life. Granted, it would have been predictable in the match when she all of a sudden picks up a weapon and hits Alexa with it, but it would have been, that's what you're supposed to make the crowd go, oh my God, like
exactly, that's extreme for Extreme Rules.
Or you have,
which was not extreme at all, but
or you have her try to pick up a weapon and put it down in the match, then get almost beaten, then have another time when she could use a weapon, then doesn't, and then she again gets her ass kicked, and then finally at the end and then have her get the shit kicked out of her. Like, I mean, Alexa Bliss beats the fuck out of her. And then, like, she's almost out, and then at the end something turns, and then she's got a chance to pick up a weapon, and then she does, and then she canes her and shit. And then the crowd should be roaring for that at that point. And they went nowhere near anything like that. It was bizarre. The weirdest story writing / decision-making I've seen, and probably some of the worst. Some of the biggest, I mean, that is one of the hugest, I think, blunders, and just fucking fuck yous to somebody. And I don't care if I was Bayley, even up there the first year, I would have been screaming in the back. Like, what in the world am I doing this for? Why are we having me do this? Is this a joke? And I don't think they like her. Because it seems like whenever someone's a bit of a mark in the back and starts talking about everything, like, they don't like it. I don't know why. They seem to be okay with Kevin Owens, but it still hasn't done him any favors either. He's been knocked down a bunch of pegs because of it, too. I feel like, just don't mention it. Unless it's going to help the story somehow in a weird way, maybe. Like the Chris Jericho stuff did, like him being a fan of Jericho, that kind of played into the story.
Yeah, but that worked, like you said, it played into it. Yeah,
but everybody else just bringing it up all the time and stuff, look at how it works for everybody. Sasha talks about hanging out with Stone Cold all the time. I know she's been women's champion and main evented things, and she's amazing and everything, but I don't know, it's not working for everybody. And I think if we go back to Rich Brennan, remember the announcer, Rich Brennan? Wasn't him and a couple of the other guys, they were sort of fucking they were sort of looked down upon, and I think it had something to do, he sort of tipped us off to it, then mentioned it in another podcast later on when Rich Brennan was on here with us. He said that it was something to do with them sort of being marks or something like that, or that they were too big of fans of the business, and that was sort of like, I feel like when you go there, you almost have to be like, I'm a pro, I just do this. This is me. You don't want to be in there being
you just have to go into it with that full confidence.
This is where Macho Man, or, oh my God, this is where Stone Cold Steve Austin used to stand. Or this is, I feel like they don't like that, and especially Vince. I don't know. But it feels that way to me. But I could be wrong. But I also feel there's a double standard for everybody, just like any office building and stuff. But it seems like it's really bad in WWE where it's like, you don't know what to say. Like, if you say something, one guy says something and they love you for it. Someone else says that and they're a loser, kick them out. Even Corey Graves said the other day when he was talking about Booker T, that whole thing was fake, by the way. They're saying it's fake.
So I still don't think it's a work, but
I think that Booker T said something over the line on purpose because he was mad, and then he said, "Yeah, we were working, everybody."
I think they turned it into a work shoot after the fact.
I agree, and I think that, I absolutely believe that.
Yeah, I think it was that he was going to willingly want to kick his ass, and then they heard that, and they're like, oh, we got to fix this.
Because plus Corey has gone out and made fun of Booker T, too. Like, you never know what Booker's going to do, It's like Booker just goes there, whatever. And I don't know, man, that felt real to me. Like, it just felt, and you know what? They were like, I don't care what they say. And if it is a work, then that's one of the best works I've seen in a long, long time.
Yeah, hats off to them. Kudos. But, I mean, you have Corey Graves making fun of Booker and Michael Cole laughing left and right like a freaking hyena.
Yeah.
All over the place on Raw, week after week.
Yeah.
I mean, it was multiple times, time and time again, and then it breaks down. I guarantee Booker had, a real big issue with him, and it just took a little bit to make him snap.
And Booker might not have been serious. He might have just been saying that to sort of get it out there to fight back. And then when people were like, oh, my God, and he was like, oh, man, it's a fucking work, But I do believe that came from a real place because I know something about, you know what I mean? When I fucking work people, when I say things and I'm sort of like, I'm kidding, but I'm not. Like, I wanted to get it out there, but I'm not. But I am kidding, at the same time. I really am kidding. So
You're
Booker,
all over the place.
Yeah, Booker T might have been kidding for real, but he was out. He also really felt that way, though, for a second. So, but that's it, guys. We got to get out of here. This went way longer than I thought because it'll take longer to get uploaded.
Really quick, earlier note, friendly competition is good, so I'm making it official for tonight. San Jose's own Bayley will take on Sasha Banks live tonight on Raw. So look at that. We're talking about it.
Oh,
and
wow.
Kurt Angle tweets it out.
Is that the opening segment of Raw? We forgot to touch on that.
I think that might be.
Let me see. Hold on. Opening segment of Raw. No, spoiler for you guys if you don't want to hear this, turn it off now. But opening tonight's Monday Night Raw will be John Cena. John Cena will open Monday Night Raw.
Oh, John Cena's opening.
Oh,
all right.
Yay.
I heard that we're not going to see Cena and The Undertaker start till after the Elimination Chamber. I hope it never starts, but...
Yeah. Oh, boy. We'll see you guys tonight after Monday Night Raw. Hopefully you guys get to listen to this. It's an ill-timed podcast. It would have been better if I put this up at like 3, but oh, fuck it. Hope you guys enjoy it. Leave a comment down below. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more podcasts like this daily. And, of course, we'll be live right here on the Joe Cronin Show after Monday Night Raw tonight. See you then. Thanks to Jake at Countdown Ended, youtube.com/Countdown Ended for Jake DeMarco on Twitter at Countdown Ended. My name is Joe Cronin at Real Joe Cronin on Twitter. Goodbye.